I can remember them. Mandy and I are exceptionally proud of all our 3 beautiful, intelligent, kind and caring daughters. But I'm sure Amy and Becky will forgive me today for talking and hopefully embarrassing about the bride rather than bridesmaids. When I last stood making a wedding speech, I assured my parents that it would be at least 5 years before we had children and they had grandchildren. And although plans changed, it was in fact 5 years later that Jo arrived. 5 weeks premature. The only time that Jo has ever been early. But I blame my sister Pat for that.
Although she was early today.
Yeah. Nicola's trying to take that one.
Well done, Nicola.
As a baby, Joanna had an unusual fascination with electrical sockets, which including testing any she could find with her small fingers. So besides numerous safety plugs, we also placed furniture in a circle to try and keep her inside what became known as the OK Corral. In her early years, all her friends were boys, and we still haven't ever been forgiven for buying her Polly Pockets when all she really wanted was a Mighty Max. Her 4th birthday, jointly with Carl, was at Pirate Pete's and a pirate ship cake made by Mandy. I will return to the high seas later when I get to Scott. Joanna joined school soon after her 4th birthday, so we finally had a break from the constant questioning of why. Other than being an inquisitive child, Joanna always possessed an instinct and determination for fairness, which is something we were pleased about until one day at primary school she decided her teacher had been unfair and she would come home. Mandy almost had a heart attack when Jo arrived at the garden gate and was heartbroken in having to take her back and demonstrate support for the school. During junior school, her thirst for reading meant that I questioned my school librarian, who suggested a new book by a first-time author called J.K. Rowling. The story quickly gained her attention, helped by the fact that the author was female with the same name as Jo. This book and the following 6 Harry Potter books soon became part of our family as we played the tapes on long journeys through France for summer holidays. One of which ended at Disneyland Paris. As a family, we were fortunate to make many holidays over the years, including visits to many multiple Disney parks. So Jo grew up with an appreciation for all aspects of Disney, including all the children's movies, which were watched time after time on a weekend morning at about 5 AM whilst I dozed on the sofa. So it seems only fitting that she met Scott on a Disney cruise ship. We were particularly proud of Joanna when we visited Cambridge for an open day, not really wanting to hope that she might achieve a place, but she did. She had 3 wonderful years there, improving her frisbee as much as her academic knowledge. She made lifelong friends, and we were pleased that Inga, John and Dreves could join us today, and delighted that Emily is one of Jo's bridesmaids, and so also here with James and Ruth. After Cambridge came Teach First in Basildon with Sarah, then the fated work of Disney Dream, where she met the man of her dreams. Scott was not, she was not her normal cheerful self when she returned. I thought perhaps it was because she was teaching maths at my old school, where she met Nicola, Jo's other bridesmaid. But as it turns out, she was missing Scott and was unsure as to whether she would ever see him again. So of course we invited him over for a visit. Consequently, we first met Scott when he came to stay for 10 weeks. Good job we liked him, wasn't it? He didn't have the easiest of starts. Before arrival, Jo teased him. She told him that he'd have to learn how to make a good cup of tea, and he wouldn't be allowed into the country otherwise. But unfortunately, when Scott arrived, Border Control detained him for well over an hour. But to Scott's surprise, they didn't ask him to make a cup of tea. Instead, they phoned me to check that we were really prepared to have him for 10 weeks, and we would dispatch him at the end of that time. This was the first of many encounters with immigration for Scott, so I think he was somewhat surprised that his brothers had no problems whatsoever. And Justin even cleared Heathrow in a record 30 minutes. During Scott's first visit, although Joe was busy teaching, they still managed to see all the countries of the UK. This included a coach trip back from Scotland for £1, which I believe turned out to be an exhausting 24-hour trip. But it meant they could enjoy seeing so much of Britain together. During this time, they decided they wanted to be together. So, where's the obvious place that an English girl and a boy from Wyoming would go? Dongying in the middle of China, obviously. We were lucky enough to visit them and see the sights from the Great Wall to the Terracotta Warriors, and finally Hong Kong, including, of course, Disneyland. We even lived for nearly a week in the school where they both taught English. We thoroughly enjoyed joining both Joe and Scott for many of their lessons. So having seen Scott teach, I know he will make an excellent teacher, and the UK should be as pleased to have him as we are. Even though the visa office did everything they could to prevent it. So my thanks to our local MP, without whose intervention I believe we would still be waiting for the engagement visa. However, one of my fondest memories of China is a wet Sunday afternoon when we were all together in Scott's room, struggling to organise flights for Joe and Scott to join us in Hong Kong for our final weekend. We were all very tired and getting edgy with one another. Then suddenly we noticed Scott had disappeared, only to return with large quantities of pizza, demonstrating his understanding that our mad family could not function on hunger. Something all the boys who have joined our family also understand. Since China, Scott has been with us for 2 more visits, and he's working hard to understand both English customs and our quirky Madison ways. Joanna has had 2 amazing summers in America meeting Scott's dad Kirk, his grandma and his siblings and friends. We are delighted that Justin and Chris have been able to be part of today's celebration, and I hope Kirk, Beckett and Grandma have been able to feel part of this as well via Skype during the church ceremony. And I also thank Dave for doing a video in the hope that we can send it to them. They will do it even more part of today. I would now like you to be upstanding to toast family and friends. Family and friends. I haven't finished yet today. I know Joe feels very much part of Scott's family, as we hope he feels part of ours. Mandy and I believe we've gained a son rather than losing a daughter, and I hope Kirk also believes that he's gained a daughter and not lost a son, and will come visit whenever an opportunity arises. Scott's family and friends will always be welcome here. I'm sure everyone is keen to wish Joe and Scott the very best of health and happiness for their future together. I would now ask you to join me in a toast to the bride and groom. Joe and Scott. Joe and Scott. Joe and Scott.
Don't forget that.